Hello everybody, welcome back to Easy Weeknight Cooking with Heart's Desire Spice Blends. And tonight we are going to be doing a very nice Greek salad. Go ahead and check out the recipe right in the description and let's get cooking. So what are we gonna need? Some garlic, about 1 pint of grape tomatoes sliced in half, 1 cucumber. We've already done some chopping. We're going to need about 1 small red bell pepper. I really love using these mini sweet peppers. I've used about 3 of these tonight. 1/2 to 1/4 of a red onion. And I'm going to be saying 1/2 to 1/4 because I've not been able to find any small red onions. We're also going to need some feta cheese, wonderful stuff. Of course, gotta have the Greek seasoning. Sweet. We're going to need red wine vinegar, if you're gonna cut out the sugar in this one especially. Instead of red wine vinegar, I'm gonna suggest you go for balsamic. Why? Because it's got a great amount of sweetness to it, and we're going to be wanting to add a lot of natural sweetnesses to kind of tone down that vinegary taste. We're going to need olive oil, definitely. With that, I think it's safe to get cooking. What are we going to be needing first? Of course, we're gonna wanna put together our dressing first. That way it's got a good amount of time to just sit and marinate while we chop up our vegetables. And that's the beautiful part, right? We're going to be going ahead with the garlic. We're going to go 1 teaspoon of Greek seasoning, 1 clove of garlic, 1/4 to 1/2 a teaspoon of sugar, which is optional, 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of salt, which is totally optional, 1/2 cup of olive oil, 1/4 cup of red wine, and a 1/4 cup of lemon juice, which of course I need to get. Lemon juice is a natural flavor enhancer that you're not going to want to skip. If you really do need to cut out a lot of the acidity, then go ahead and replace the lemon juice with balsamic vinegar and skip the sugar. Let's go ahead and start off. We're going to be wanting a 2-cup measure to make sure we've got everything correct. Let's go ahead and start off with the lemon juice. We've got a 1/4 cup of it. If you don't have lemon juice, some other citrus juice will work just fine. So that's a 1/4 cup of that. I am going to be going with balsamic vinegar tonight. Normally we go with red wine vinegar. That's traditional. But the balsamic does such a beautiful job. There's a reason why I got myself a 2nd jar here. There we go. Let's just go ahead, shake it, shake it, shake. Right on into your measuring cup. There we go. Now when you smell this stuff, it is gorgeous. You'll notice with the balsamic vinegar, it's actually very, very dark. And when you smell it, oh my word, it is awesome. Now we've gotten our vinegar and our citrus juice in there. Lemon juice really is the best for this, but you can substitute if you don't have the lemon juice. So next is 1/2 cup of olive oil. And olive oil really is one of my favorites for cooking. It's just got this body to it that is absolutely wonderful. And it is definitely traditional for any of your Greek cooking. So do not skip on the olive oil. And 1 clove of garlic. Let's go ahead and mince this up really well. When you're taking the skins off, you can go ahead and smash it like I just did. And just go ahead and the skins come right on off. You've got your clove right there. Make a couple more quick slices lengthwise, and then you can do a fine dice widthwise. There you go. Right on into our dressing. And of course, our Greek seasoning. Ooh, I love this stuff so much. It is awesome stuff. You can see some of the rosemary in there. You smell the oregano. You smell the garlic and the black pepper and the lemon. Love it. Put that on into your dressing and stir it all up. Now this is normally when you'd be putting in any of your salt and sugar as well. And sometimes it needs it, sometimes it does not. If you're on a low salt diet, totally omit the salt. There's going to be plenty of salt in the feta cheese. And now that this is nicely stirred, we're gonna put it aside and chop up our vegetables. So we've got 1 pint of grape tomatoes that have been cut in half. I've got some of them here. We need to cut these in half still. Now, you're gonna want a really sharp knife for this, or else your knife is not gonna go through those tomato skins. Now, why am I using grape tomatoes all the time, you might ask? I have been using them the most often because I find they've got this just wonderful flavor to them. I definitely want tomatoes with the best flavor. The stuff that, the vine ripened tomatoes on the vine are not bad, but they're nothing beats a truly garden homegrown tomato. Now, if you don't want to use grape tomatoes, you can definitely use Roma. Those are the other ones I would definitely suggest. Now, if you really want to make sure this is a drier salad, go ahead and put these in a colander and put them off to the side for a while. It just works really, really well. We're going to slice the rest of our cucumber. And some of you guys may wonder, why did I peel part of my cucumber? The skin tends to be bitter. And that's why a lot of people make stripes on their cucumbers to kind of get rid of some of that skin, where a lot of the nutrients are in the skin, but you don't want that bitter aftertaste. So what we're going to do is we are going to cut this in half lengthwise and then cut it widthwise to make half of it. Just really simple salad. You guys can make this up in advance, as much as a day in advance, and things will not wilt too terribly bad by the time overnight has been reached. Oh, those flavors are wonderful. Definitely, it is something where you want a lot of the flavors to meld really nicely. Now, we also have a quarter of a red onion already chopped. I was looking at things and going, you know what, that's an awful lot of red onion. So I'm going for a quarter of a red onion, even though our recipe says a half of one. So when you've got the large red onions, go ahead and feel free to go ahead and do quarters or halves. Sometimes a whole red onion is just a bit much. Now, if you guys want to tone down the bite of your onions, what you do is you go ahead and put this straight into your dressing. The dressing will actually permeate the onion. The onion will give its flavor to the dressing. The dressing will give its flavor to the onion, and your onion will not taste as raw. Go ahead and pour the onion right into the dressing. Give it a stir. Break up the onion as much as possible while you do this, and that will allow that dressing to just do wonderful things to your onion. And so if you're going to be serving this pretty soon after you make it, definitely do this with your onion. That way you don't get bites of raw onion. A lot of people really don't like that, but when you get all the flavors melding like this, it is so good. Oh. We have bell pepper. We have our tomatoes, cucumber, bell pepper. Now, normally when I do feta, I do a block of feta. And what we have here is crumbles. The block feta I really love because you can make it into cubes instead of just crumbles. The crumbles tend to just kind of melt into nothing. But if you do it right, you're gonna have your crumbles not melting into nothing and still giving a great amount of flavor to your Greek salad. So we're gonna actually put our feta on last. Meanwhile, we're gonna go ahead and pour our dressing right on over things. That balsamic vinegar is so wonderful. And go ahead and give this quite a few tosses so far, just to get everything just a little bit more homogeneous. And oh, beautiful. Look at those colors. Oh, and you want to get your dressing coating all of your vegetables. You want to make sure that your onions are separated. Next, it's 4 ounces of feta cheese. This is a 6-ounce container. So if you guys really love your feta cheese, you love that vinegary bite and just that cheesy kind of flavor it gives, I adore feta. I will just eat it straight, seriously. Then go ahead and put the whole thing in. If you do not want as much of that feta taste, then go ahead and put less in. It's not a big deal. This is being a little difficult, so I'm gonna break the seal with my knife. Be really careful if you do that. Sometimes it's really easy to cut yourself. Now, as you can see, this has differing different sizes of crumble to it. I really love those large crumbles. If I can go ahead and get cubes or large crumbles, that is amazing. So I'm going to put about 4 ounces right on top, and you're going to be really gentle about mixing this in when you're mixing in your feta. Really gentle. And so mainly because feta just breaks apart so easily. It's one of these just really hard, crumbly cheeses. It's a goat cheese that is just so wonderful. Oh my gosh. Wow. Oh my word. Give me a spoon. This is beautiful stuff, and the presentation can be even better. If you like, you can put pieces of avocado on top. You can put chickpeas in this. You can put pine nuts in this. You can dust it with the rest of the feta. You can do all sorts of things just to make a very beautiful presentation with this. A couple of sprigs of mint on top, and you're golden. So why don't I see about dishing a little bit up. Let me get a spoon, and there we go. Going to get me just a little bit of everything here. This is just beautiful. Look at the colors there. The red onion, the greens, the reds, the little bit of the browns of the balsamic vinegar. The smell of the balsamic vinegar is rich and sweet, and you've got the bite of the lemon and the bite of the vinegary bite of the vinegar. You've got that little musky sweetness of the olive oil. Oh yeah, beautiful. And when this sits a little bit longer, the onions will get sweet, and the vinegar will penetrate these tomatoes and make them even sweeter. Oh, I love this stuff when it's been sitting for about half an hour. So, really good stuff. So from our kitchen to yours, keep things tasty. That is a really simple, easy Greek salad where you can actually use that dressing in your other salads and make people wonder where you got it. Absolutely wonderful stuff. Keep things tasty, and we will see you next week with our new blend of the month, which will be on sale. You can go ahead and get our Greek seasoning on sale through the 30th.